What is going on, everybody? We are back with another reaction video. Thank you so much for joining me today. The support truly means a lot. And to all my new viewers, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. I hope you all enjoy this video because I know I will. Now today I will be reacting to and learning about the Newfoundland English language. Let's jump right into this, man. I'm not wasting no more time. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on so you don't miss another one of these reactions. Now, before we go ahead and jump right into this video, I want to go ahead and read this quick article about the Newfoundland English language. So we got Newfoundland English refers to several accents and dialects of Atlantic Canadian English found in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Most of these differ significantly from the English commonly spoken elsewhere in Canada and North America, reflecting the province's history and geography. Newfoundland was one of the first areas settled by England in North America, beginning in small numbers in the early 17th century and peaking in the early 19th century after the 1783 independence of the colonies. Okay, I wanted to make sure I read that right. After the 1783 independence of the colonies that formed the United States of America, Newfoundland remained part of the British North America, becoming the dominion within the British Empire in 1907. It joined Canada in 1949 as the last province to join the Confederation. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I did not know that, actually, and that's exactly why I wanted to check out this quick article. Let's jump right into the video, man. I'm not wasting no more time. I'm getting excited. I want to check out this new language. Ooh.
Yeah, I was talking to the RCMP this morning. Nobody ever told of it. I talked to the DFO last night, and all the miners did anybody throw rocks at it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Speaks really fast. Is this how everyone in Newfoundland speaks? It's really fast. Like, I could understand it, but towards the end of his sentences, it's kind of slurred.
This is Newfoundland English, commonly known as Newfoundlandese, and is spoken here in the island of Newfoundland just off the coast of North America. It's home to around 500,000 people, and it's known for its rich history of fishing and its very distinctive culture in comparison to the rest of Canada, including and especially its variation of English.
Okay.
Simple. What are you at? What are you at?
Yeah.
What are you at right now?
This is it.
This is it.
All right. What are you
And
at?
if you were building a house, you also might respond, nothing. And you could be.
Today, Newfoundland and Labrador is part of Canada, but Newfoundland didn't join Canada until 1949. Before then, it was a British Dominion, and as a result, today has a culture that is a kind of mix between Canada and the British Isles. This also left a lot of linguistic artifacts in Newfoundland English, and that doesn't just mean an accent. See, an accent is just a difference in pronunciation. It's the difference between accent and accent. But dialects are a lot more complex. A dialect is a difference in the actual grammar and structure of a language. These can be broken down into two main categories. First, are standardized dialects. This means that the dialect is accepted and used in professional and formal settings, and especially in official institutions. An American president would have no problem saying the word elevator during a speech.
So getting on an elevator and a woman clutching her purse nervously.
And a British Prime Minister would do the same with the word lift, even though they are dialectical differences. Then we have non-standardized dialects. These are dialects that aren't represented in institutional settings like schools, and usually aren't used in professional or formal settings. This is the category Newfoundland English falls into, and a big reason it's considered unprofessional is because we're often quick to dismiss smaller dialects as just plain gibberish. Even those of us who speak them often don't think too deeply about it, but there are actually very real rules, and they aren't just ignoring grammar. In the phrase, "what are you at?" the word "at" roughly means doing, so the full sentence means, "What are you doing?" This use of the word "at" is actually present in many Irish accents.
Very rural background. I still live in a rural background. He's have to go out and see the word. I can't give him advice. He knows what he's at.
Another thing Irish English and Newfoundland English have in common is dropping the TH sounds in words. Mother becomes mutter, this becomes this.
Mother. Go talk to your mother.
But Newfoundland English is more than just Canadian English with some Irish and British quirks. It's its own beast, and has its own individual vocab and even set in structure and grammar. Easily the most essential word in Newfoundland English is "by," which is a contraction of boy. This can be used pretty much like dude or man, and you'll hear it all the time. He's weird, man, becomes he's weird by. This word is actually...
Wait, okay. If I wanted to learn this language, it's like starting from scratch.
also currently undergoing a pronunciation change among younger speakers, who are starting to favor the pronunciation ba. Probably the most interesting word though is la. Used in a sentence, it would look like this. Where's the car? Over there, la. So it's basically used to bring attention to a specific location or thing. A common misconception is that it's short for look, but it actually more likely has its roots in the word lo, as in lo and behold. But Newfoundland English is also more than just funny words. There are actually rules as far as sentence structure and grammar go. The biggest and most basic example of how Newfoundland English deviates from other dialects is this. If you've ever taken a second language class, this will give you nightmares. It's a conjugation chart, specifically for the present tense in Standard English. In Standard English, you basically just say the base form of the verb for everything except he or she, where the verb takes an S at the end. In Newfoundland English, we would just put an S at the end of all of them. I like how simple it is. Another quirk of Newfoundland English is that the past participle is the same as the simple past tense.
I be doing that. I likes this. I be doing that. Oh, I got that Newfoundlandese in my language.
And what that means is that instead of saying, have you written the letter, we would just say, have you wrote the letter? But there is another, even more interesting way to describe the past tense in Newfoundland English, and that is using the word after. I'm after writing the letter. What this refers to is that the present moment is after the event of you writing the letter. This also comes from Irish English. Here's the thing though. If you talk to a Newfoundlander, you're not necessarily guaranteed to hear all this. People who grew up speaking Newfoundland English are usually extremely talented at varying the amount of Newfoundland English that slips into their speech, and can pretty much operate on a gradient from very thick dialectical speech to standard English. The Newfoundland dialect also tends to be thicker in more rural areas. This isn't because Newfoundland English isn't correct, it's just that these groups tend to be less likely to need to speak with people who may not know the dialect. It's important to realize that just like English is our first language, Newfoundland English can be considered our first dialect. And sometimes it's hard to articulate ourselves in a foreign dialect, and there just aren't always going to be exact translations. One thing I personally struggle with is a very specific verb form. The word bees. Bees is used to describe an action that is ongoing. For example, if somebody were to ask me, how do you spend your time? I'd say, I bees making videos. And there's really no easy way to describe that.
What? That sounds like that down south, that southern country accent. What? I bees making videos. I bees making videos. That sounds so down south. That's Newfoundlandese?
And there's really no easy way to describe that the same way in standard English. I could say I make videos in that example, but another example is if I were sick and I said I be coughing and sniffling. And that would more closely translate to I've been coughing and sniffling.
Right.
So there are ways to translate it into standard English, but really they're just approximations. Just like translating from a different language. In addition to being related to dialects from the British Isles, just like translating from a different language. In addition to being related to dialects from the British Isles, Newfoundland English also shares similarities to southern US dialects. For example, in the South, you'll often hear people use the phrase right quick to mean very quickly. Newfoundland
Yo, I say that. Yo, I'm from the city, but over the time, throughout these years, I done took so much different slang from so many different areas. Like, I'm from New York City. Nobody would ever expect me to say Maine. Look, that's that down south country. Maine. I love saying it. Listen, Maine. That's that down south country slang right there. That's that down south lingo. Hold on real quick.
South, you'll often hear people use the phrase right quick to mean very quickly.
Let me go.
Newfoundland English
do that
uses
right
the
quick.
word right very similarly.
Do that right quick.
Here it's used as a general synonym of very or really, applicable to any situation. Newfoundland English has also been compared a lot to African American Vernacular English, or Ebonics, which uses the same verb form bees, except they drop the S. Some communities in Newfoundland also conjugate to do to do's, just like the title of this JB Smooth special.
I bees making videos, but I'm gonna go upstairs right quick. I'm telling you, man. Look. Put it all in one. I'm trying to tell you, I could get used to this language. The Newfoundlandese. I like that. I didn't even know that was a word until today. Believe it or not. Newfoundlandese? I didn't know this was a language either.
And just like Newfoundland English, Ebonics is oftentimes looked down upon for not being proper, people just not knowing how to speak English. But dialects like these aren't wrong, they're just as right as any other dialect.
Exactly.
No matter how standardized or non-standardized they are. As long as the dialect facilitates communication, it's right. Dictionaries don't define English. English defines dictionaries.
I like how you put that. I really like how you put that, my man. I like how you put that. Wow. That was very shocking. I was not expecting that. Newfoundlandese language. Or should I say Newfoundland English? Now, I like the Newfoundlandese. How to speak Newfoundlandese. What? Let me say that to an American out here. You know how to speak Newfoundlandese? They're going to be like, what did you just say to me? What is that word? You learn something new every day, man. If you guys enjoyed this amazing video, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on. Thank you so much for joining me today to check out this Newfoundlandese language. Or should I say Newfoundland English language? Or should I say Newfoundlandese English language? Does that even make sense? Somebody please clarify me in the comments down below. I don't want to sound foolish. Please feel free to spam my comment section and use that suggestion link down below in my description if you would like to recommend some of these outstanding, fascinating, intriguing, beautiful, magnificent videos for me, myself, to react to. And please feel free to share this video and this channel to your friends and family members, whoever you feel may be interested in joining us for these reactions. Once again, I'll catch you guys in the next reaction video. Stay safe, and please feel free to let me know how you guys felt about this video down below in the comments section. And if you actually know how to speak the Newfoundlandese language,